Welcome to Straight Talk TV, the show that cares about you. And here's your host, Tony Brown.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone joining us for the 2024. People have been asking, can you go on Facebook where we can kind of chill back at the house or where we at and watch the show? And so we're working on it. We're bringing it to you now. And we also want to put a special thanks to everybody that DMs us, that hits us on Instagram, Twitter, all those different programs, social medias, and sharing with us what you'd like to hear and what you'd like to see, the topics. And we appreciate that. And before we get started with 2024, we're going to open up with the Black National Anthem. So stand in your heart and in your mind for the Black National Anthem, performed by Johanna and Steve McCoy.
Yes.
Is one. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought. Facing the rising sun, on a day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Is won. Is won.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
Yes, that is Johanna and Steve McCoy performing the Black National. And that song is powerful because it's telling us to do something, to keep on marching on. And that's what we would like to do this year, 2024, and continue to pass it on. And like I was saying, we get a lot of requests for various guests to come back. And we've been getting an overwhelming request about the business portion that Straight Talk does every month. And that lady has volunteered her time. Bless her heart. She has a big heart. She's all the way from Philadelphia. She's from Temple University. It's Professor OLday. And she says she's going to share some business information. It's tax season. So I'm gonna bring Professor OLday on and she can share some information. If you got some questions, DM us, we'll get them all, get your questions answered, and we can also provide her information so you can give her a call if you need to. Professor OLday, welcome, please. Give her a clap, please.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you everyone who's on. You know, our national anthem should give us some pride. And I'm hoping that our parents, well, not our parents, but parents, my daughter's children and grandchildren, we need to go back to just listen to that because it will instill some pride in us and maybe we won't be so hard on ourselves because you can't march on if you can't march. So we need to be able to remember what that is. So our history is our history and we have to be able to pass it down. So this is a segue into being an entrepreneur. We were the first entrepreneurs. Sharecroppers were the first entrepreneurs. They just didn't understand how the system works. And so here we are thousands of years later, and we still don't know how the system works. That's not everyone. I am not making a blanket statement. For those of you who are in the know, who are the million and multimillionaires, because you know people look like me, have that kind of money too. But for my micro and small business people, we have to do three things this year. We have to become compliant because the IRS, the Treasury Department, even the financial crimes, which I'll touch on in a minute, is coming to make sure you have registered in your state, registered with your city, and registered with the IRS. Well, people will get IRS, they'll get an EIN number, and they don't even understand what half of that means. But I tell people the moment you pay that money, you become obligated. You're married to them until you divorce them, which means I have either transitioned, I have given my business to someone else, I sold it, but you have some options there, or retired. I don't do it anymore. So we need to think about estate planning in our businesses. Because if you're the one who does your business, what happens if something happens to you? And I'm not talking about passing. I'm talking about maybe you're incapacitated for a minute. Who runs your business? So compliance is something that we have to take a look at. Taxation is another one. I would like to ask people, I know they TikTok themselves to death. If you would just talk to a professional in that service before you pay the state, the city, or somebody to do it, because there's conversations you should have. Tax planning and having your taxes done are two entirely different things. Hopefully, if you have an accountant, your accountant should be doing some of the tax planning with you, or maybe your accountant will suggest that you have a tax planner. Because I know this is the time of year that you either love me or I don't want to see you because I don't like you. I don't like what's going on. And the last thing is quality assurance. How are we proving and showing the world that our business is qualified? How are we digitizing? How are we keeping up with what's going on? Because you have to if you want to be successful. Those are the wonderful things that we want to work on this year, and I'll be back to help anybody who's interested in being helped or asking questions, or there are different states, so we're all in different states, and so there are compliances in each one. So I just want to bring to light a couple of things. All that great money we had in 1920 and 21, you will not be receiving anymore. There'll be no refundable child tax credit. The only refundable part of the child tax credit is the additional child tax credit. So when people are saying, I'm going to get this money, you're going to get a lower tax liability, but you're only going to get the additional child tax credit. And please, if you got 5 kids, claim your 5 kids. Stop selling your children, because they are so tight now that they are catching people, and you don't want to not be able to be in a position to claim your kids for 10 years. They have at least increased the standard deduction, which is good. So married couples are almost at $28,000. Head of households is at $20,000, and they went up $1,000. So you're almost at $14,900, I believe it is. So I'm not looking right at it for seniors, and $13,950 for single people. So this brings me to one of the important things that I want to talk about, and then I will entertain any questions. The previous president reduced the wage tax to 8%. So what does that mean to you? Everybody's so excited because they got more money in their check. Now it's tax time. You used to get 10% on that wage tax, and now you're getting 8%. So you're getting more money back. But guess what? It doesn't change. It does not change your tax bracket. So if you're in a 22% tax bracket, which most medium incomes are, somewhere between 24 to 80,000, you still have to pay 22% tax. So your HR departments, one, they don't understand what happened. 2, they're not explaining to you what can happen. 3, you really should have a tax professional or an accountant who prepares you for the next year, particularly if you're still at work. So they don't understand that. So if you're single, you want to take extra money out. If you're head of household, you don't want to claim any of those children that you have on that W-4, because that means when they say how much earned income credit I'm gonna get, how much child tax credit I'm gonna get, you're going to get very little, simply because you claimed all of that stuff and they gave you the money in every check. So I think we have to have that conversation of how do you understand your money? And you can't make your money work for you if you don't understand where your money is going. Because there's, we have people make hundreds, $200,000. They're like, I don't feel like it, right? It's like, what happened? And it's not just Uncle Sam taking the taxes out. It's understanding the 1099s. It's understanding that I didn't pay any quarterly taxes if you're a small or micro business. You didn't pay taxes, which is by law what you should do every quarter. And when you don't do that, you have an exorbitant bill at the end of the year. And please don't ask everybody to just write everything off, because then you're going to want to borrow some money, want to see where money is, and you're not going to be able to get any. Why? Because I use this with my own family. Well, if I know you don't have a job and you ask me for $1,000, I don't know when you're going to pay me back. I either have $1,000 to give you, or what is the answer? Nope. No, because we don't have as much disposable cash as we had. And we are crediting ourselves at 36%. And people don't care as long as they get that credit card right there till it's time to pay the bill. So that's business and individuals. And remember, business has to be done first so it can go to your personal. And they're not two separate things sometimes, but you need to know which one it is, because you sign off saying that you know what I did. You sign off saying that you know what the accountant did. And how many times have we seen people go to jail signing off, and the IRS will help you say, you signed it, so you must know what it is. Please, no one should know your money better than you. So that's my
I got a
opinion.
question right there. For people preparing for, you mentioned a tax preparator and an accountant, right? How do a person start gathering the information and preparing themselves to get the information to their accountant or the person that's preparing their taxes? What are some basic things that they should be doing?
First, if you're talking to a business consultant, they should help you do a chart of accounts. So your chart of accounts is how many ways do you get your income? And then what are all your expenses? Because we can't make up numbers like they used to. You can't tell me, well, I drove 500 miles. No, you can't. The government says, I need that mile IQ. I need that documentation. So even as Uber drivers, because Uber drivers they would like for you to write the whole world off if you could, but they can't, because depending on what state you're in, your car, or did you lease the car? Those are questions that you have and answer in the beginning of the year, because if you are a disregarded entity, which is just an LLC is, you're going to do a Schedule C. You have till April 15th. But if you're a S chapter, subchapter, S corp, a corporation, or you are a partnership, your taxes are due March 15th. So what are the income and what are the expenses? You have to write them down. We are liable now. I'm not getting penalized for, I might love you dearly, but I need documentation. And today, when we talk about compliance, documentation is compliance. So that's what you have to do. Now, even if you have to give somebody, because I have a gentleman that brings me 4 boxes of shoe boxes full of receipts. And then say, okay. And then we have to take out, because you can't go to Acme. You can't use your food stamps. You can't do all that and say, here we are. So somebody has to sort through and then help you if you've never done it before, because most micros are 250,000 and less. in cash or credit or however on your business, somebody has to help you with that chart of account. And that's why you should have if your accountant isn't doing it, your tax professional should be helping you do it. And if
And
not,
what,
a business coach.
right. And what about people if they're on some form of Social Security and they want to work? Is there a special amount or percentage that they can make before they tapped into their Social Security or disability, whatever the case may be?
If you're on Social Security disability, the Social Security company will tell you, Social Security company, Social Security Administration will tell you exactly how much you can make. Okay. And that will be gross. Please know that just because you're on Social Security disability does not mean you can't have a company. Just say that. That's a whole nother conversation. If you want supplemental social income, that is a state funding. It is dollar for dollar. You make $1, we take $1. So because they didn't ever work to put any money in anything, so the state, we know that there are people who can't work. So the state has a whole pot for supplemental income. That's why it's SSI. Okay. So, and then of course, once you're on Social Security, if you're on Social Security and you get a pension, if they're taking taxes out of your pension, what I find is that people who are retired think they don't have to do tax returns anymore. However, once you hit $25,000, your income becomes taxable. Your Social Security becomes taxable. So that's another conversation. So I've had people who've been not getting tax returns. However, their pension has been taken out their taxes. All that money can come back to you. But again, it's about the conversation that you have with whoever's doing your taxes. Because the tax person is not not necessarily your financial advisor.
Right. Now, since we're on the tax information, what about people with home-based businesses? If you could touch on a little bit, and then we can come back later and you can kind of do a whole segment, if you will, about having a home-based business and the tax piece of it.
Okay, so if you have a home-based business, you have to take the square footage of your house and the square footage of your office space. And whatever that square footage comes to the percentage, that's what you should be using to help pay the bills in that residence.
Now, does
So
a
if it's
person
20% and your electric bill is $1,000, you should be paying 20% of that bill. The company should be paying the owner 20% of the bill. It doesn't matter that we're talking about the company, whether you're the owner of the house and the owner of the company. But if you have a home-based business, one of the things that they ask, especially if you want to borrow money or whatever, so where are you doing your business? Oh, I have business use of home. So where are the percentages coming out? And I will say this, anything you do in your office is deductible 100%. Anything you do in your whole house that includes your office is not deductible. So if you paint your entire house and that includes your office, you can't deduct that. If you only paint your office, that's 100% deductible. And actually, the IRS is really, really good at giving you the information for business use of home. Because that's another thing that helps you with your chart of accounts, what I can deduct, what I can have as a credit. Did that answer your question?
absolutely? I just kind of got received some previous questions, so I kind of wanted to tap in and share those questions with those people that's viewing it can kind of get some information. And again, we're going to, at the end of the segment, we're going to also put up Professor OLday from OLday Business Service, so you can call her and follow up with her and get your questions answered. Okay, go ahead, Professor. Thank you.
Oh, I'm good. So,
Okay,
oh,
okay.
I know we have some wonderful person that's in entertainment, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say. But I will say this, entertainers, beauticians, and barbers, please, you don't take advantage of half of the things that you could be taking advantage of. and you don't protect yourself the way you should. And as tax professionals who are dealing with people in the entertainment industry, they don't have insurance for when they travel. They don't keep records. They just know that I have cash in hand, same as barbers and beauticians. And that is not going to work for you, because it's imperative that when you get to be closer to my age and we almost pushing 70, I need you to understand that you're going to want Medicare and Social Security. And since you're not paying everything and you're paying people under the table and you just cash and carry, you are not preparing your own self for your own future. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Now, just to touch on a little bit, I know we had talked previously about people buying property and, multi-units, single units, family units. Can you give a little information for them as they start preparing for tax purposes? And then we can do a complete segment, if you will, on the people that are buying the property so they can get that information as well.
So are you buying it in your name, or are you buying it? That's the first question. Are you buying the property in the company's name? Because that's a whole different set of rules. Or are you buying it in your name and renting part of it? Are you living in part of it? So there's no blanket statements, because it's going to depend on what you did and how you did it or how you do it. So that's a great topic. And they've changed a lot of rules depending on if you're a pass-through or if you are a actual realtor, real estate. As an investor, there's one set of rules. As a realtor, there's another set of rules. And I get it. People are busting their butt trying to make money, but you got to know the rules of engagement.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and if you will, come back and we'll do a couple of segments on these different topics that we talked about. So the people that's kind of really tuned in and that's their lane that they're in right now, they can get that information, be able to talk to their accountant. Because knowledge is power if we use it.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that you have been sharing is the fact that if we know the questions to ask when we go to our accountant or the tax preparer. So, because they might not have all the questions or they might not know what you're thinking, but if you have some questions to ask them from the information that you gather, it might make the whole transition for you a little smoother.
I'm going to say that I will share some with you and you can share with your audience later. But
Okay.
the questions that I'm making people aware of are the questions I should be asking you.
Oh,
They should be asking you these questions as well.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, Professor OLday, what we're going to do right now is you have agreed to come back and do a couple more segments on Pacific. And as we get to the tax season, we appreciate if you come back because this is January, we have February, and then we have March, and then it's time to, what's those dates again that they're certain?
March 15th for nonprofits and partnerships, S Corps and C Corps. April 15th this year is no extra extended dates. Is the actual ending of tax season unless you're getting an extension. And please know the extension is if you think you're going to owe some money, you have to pay money on the 15th, even though you get an extension. It does not alleviate you from doing anything until October 15th.
You might want to say that again, because a lot of times we're under the impression if we get extension that we don't have to pay anything. So you said that.
Oh no, April 15th, if you think you're going to owe, you need to send them something. So especially an S Corps, because it's $450 a month every month you don't pay. They don't care whether you have an extension or not, especially if you end up owing. So they're going to tack on whatever you owed plus the $450 per whatever it's going to be, May, June, July, August, September, October, those 6 months while you're waiting. So
Right.
that's not advisable. So you should get those things done a little early. So if you have to make an extension, I'm sorry, businesses have to make an extension on March 15th because that's when their due date is.
March 15th for business. Okay. Okay. But Professor O'Day, we really appreciate you. Let me say this is Professor O'Day, Temple University, the CEO of AOK Business LLC, and her number. Uh-oh. I'm gonna give you a number, and we're gonna also put it up a little later. It is 267-225-1230. Now, for those that didn't have their pen or their pencil or they texted, I'm gonna say it again. 267-225-1230. Best Old Day, AOK Business Service LLC. Professor O'Day, we just appreciate the knowledge that you have. But before we go, just share a little bit of how you got started in this business. Because people are like, well, how did you get started? What made you want to be this businesswoman to be in the different areas that you're covering? If you will, please.
My grandmother was the first African-American female shoe repairer in Philadelphia. Well, they say in the country, but in Philadelphia, that I know of. And so I came up with an entrepreneurial family. And of course, then they wanted you to go to college, get an education, and they thought what they did, then get a job was better than what they were doing. However, my spirit always said, hey, I just need to do this. And I've had enough jobs. And just for those people who think I don't have paper, I have 2 master's degrees. And all right, so I hope you're happy now. But that doesn't mean anything because there are plenty of people who have a lot of money, don't have a piece of paper at all. It's always, are they compliant? Because they know the rules of engagement. You have to know the rules of engagement. So it's just always been my passion to make sure my people of color have a solid foundation. My family made sure we had a solid foundation because what do we need? Close the wealth gap, create generational wealth, right? And we can't do that and leave a legacy. And we can't do that if we're not teaching each other how to do it. So
oh my goodness.
That's where I am.
That's another segment I'd like you to come back about teaching us how to pass on generational wealth and the importance of it and setting ourselves up now for our children's children. Somewhere I read it says a good man and woman sets up for children for 7 times 7 times 7 generational
Yeah, that's
wealth.
biblical.
Yeah. Okay. So we appreciate you again, Professor O'Day. When we come back, people say the world is all messed up. The world is perfect. It spins on this axle 363 degrees every day. If it didn't, we'd be flying off. What's going on in society. And what we need is some humor. We need to laugh. And I tell you, the lady that's coming now, Senior Hall said she's one of the funniest ladies that he's ever worked with. We're going to go to a break and we're going to come back with Miss Debbie Wooten. Professor O'Day, let's give a hand. Thank you so much. God bless you. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
That lady right there, could you just step right back in the spotlight and take this bow? You are my new role model, baby. Yeah. I read about her the first time we worked together, and I feel like I'm blessed tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Funny. She's funny. And she brings it to you still. Regardless of what she's going through, she brings it to you. How you doing?
Please welcome Debbie Wooten.
Hey,
Hello, Debbie. How are you, Miss Wooten?
I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm a little brighter than the skies outside. It's gray and dark.
Right. Senior Hall mentioned something that was really special. He just said, regardless of what you're going through, can you share a little bit about what he was referring to?
Well, I came in the world, in this perfect world, like you said, people are messing it up, not the world. The world is perfect. The earth is perfect. I came on this earth, this perfect earth, perfect myself. And then at 5 months old, I contracted polio. And polio is it's not like a COVID. It affects your brain, the signals in your brain. So it tells us the arms, the legs move, and so my heart, when you grow up, the ability to pick the right mate, it affects all that. It makes it slow, and you can't always do good in those positions. But I also had spinal bifida as well, and so I had to deal with those prejudices that people give on you. Plus, I was Black and a girl, poor, and I'm disabled. So I kind of had all of them at one time.
Can you kind of share about what each one of them means, so if people kind of educate us a little bit, if you don't mind?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Can you kind of share a little bit about each one of the diseases? I guess it would we refer to as a disease, polio, and the other spinal.
Yeah, spinal bifida is a separation of the back bottom of your spine to your pelvic area, and so I had that, and that's that you're born. It's a birth defect, and polio is a virus, and so, you know, it's even more dangerous than COVID was, because people could touch you. It could rain, and the water, the air has polio virus in it. It could rain on you and give you polio. People couldn't swim in those days because the swim pools were contaminated. So it's very highly contagious. And so I don't know a world without polio. That's how I was. And so growing up, I wasn't allowed to go to public schools because they didn't let they call us crippled kids. They didn't let crippled kids go to school with the normal kids. They said that they were normal and we weren't. And so I was really frustrated by the time I got to high school going to the crippled children's school. I said, when I graduate, I'm just going to hang around the normal people. And so I graduated from high school, and then I couldn't find no normal people. I don't know where they're at. They were looking for them. You know any? I have not found any yet. But I was told I wasn't normal. So, but you know, being isolated in a world of disabled kids, that's all that was in our school. And kids are born to love. And at our school, it was just polio world. So I came home from school one night, and to my shock and disbelief, on television, they were showing Black people getting hosed up against the walls in 1963. I was 7. And they were showing the Black people getting abused. And my mother and I were looking at the news. It just made the national news. And my mother got really upset about it. And I looked at her, and then I noticed she was Black like the people on the TV. And I put my arms around her. I said, I feel so sorry for you people. Well, I'm glad I ain't Black. Right. My mama looked at me. She said, baby, you just another shade of brown. She said, I'm your mom. If I'm Black, you Black too. And I was like, no, I'm not Black. I'm polio. And Roosevelt is a leader of our people. Right. Right. And she said, you're polio too. And I said, I'm biracial? What? I didn't even know that. But then that's when I realized that we're all born to love. Babies love everybody. There's no baby come out here judging people the way they look or walk or color their skin. No, babies don't care about anything. You got my milk, I love you. It's on. They don't care about nothing else. They love everything. But somebody violates our ability just to purely love as we get older. And we get all this judgment and information from people who we trust to give us the right information. We find out when we grow up that somebody lied to you or somebody exaggerated. And now we all have to be programmed. Not just some of us, all of us have been violated to be able to love and accept people. And so God gave me this gift of humor. So if you don't like the way I look, the way I walk, the color of my skin, I'm always a chubby girl, how much I weigh, you know, at least you like to laugh. That God gave me, that was a tool that I used, my humor. And I use it not just to be like a clown, but also to problem solve. And so they helped me a lot in problem solving using a humorous way. As a teenager, I had a long brace. I had a brace on and a lift on one shoe. But I was a teenager. I want the boys to like me too, you know. And so, but they would go sit on the girls' porches with the back afros and the mini skirts, and nobody would sit on my porch with me. So I took my babysitting money, and I had my daddy buy a basketball hoop and a basketball, and I would stay in my front yard and just bounce my basketball. And the boys go like, whose basketball is that? I said, oh, it goes to my new hoop over there in the corner on the garage. And then they'd be like, hey, baby, you fine, but Debbie got a hoop. I got all the boys. I got all the boys. How about that? I got creative and problem solving. That was my thing. I problem solved a lot using humor. Another incident was I worked at the Washington State Lottery in Washington State, and I never smoked. I never smoked cigarettes, even though, you know, everybody gets that one chance where they make up their mind, should I not smoke? And the only reason why I didn't smoke is my girlfriend, oh, you need to smoke. I lost 5 pounds last week and you should smoke. And then I took a puff and I said, oh, but it stinks. And I can't smell my perfume. I can't smell my Avon. I didn't care about burnt lungs or anything like that. The boys can't see your lungs, but they can smell it. So the only thing, so I want to thank Avon Company for stopping me from not smoking, because that's why I didn't smoke, because I couldn't smell my Avon. That was the only reason. So thank you, Avon. Yes, I know they appreciate that. Avon save lives.
Right. I want to share a little bit of where your gift, just a little bit of your bio of where your gift has taken you. I'm gonna put my glasses on. I want to make sure I get this right here. You've been joined a keynote speaker with International Toastmasters. You won first place in that competition as a comedian in the competition. You have worked with Sinbad. You have worked with Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx came to my house to get me.
Okay, share a little bit about that.
I did 2 shows with him, and he said, Debbie, you need to come to California and with us. We're all going, and you know, you got the talent. And I was like, okay. But I had 5 little kids and I had just got newly married. And so I went for a couple of weeks and I got to hang out with everybody, Chris Rock and all the big stars. But then I realized I got my 5 kids, and I need to come home to them. And it's a miracle I had kids, because they told my mother and father I couldn't have any kids when I was when I was a young mother after my 3rd baby. They said, the doctor said you couldn't have any kids. And I said, what? Why didn't you tell me? But they never told me. That's when I found out you can do a lot when you don't know you can't do it.
Right, exactly.
So, but, I just decided to come back and raise my children. I didn't want to, not for the dollar amount that I want to trade out my kids. I had to take care of them first.
Yes. Yeah, and for somebody hitting us from Chi-Town, we see she is from Chi-Town. Yes, she's from Chicago. I'm
from the Chicago hood. And in 87, I decided to take my 5 kids after my divorce from their father, take them out the hood and put them in the woods.
Tacoma, Washington. Yeah, and he's worked with Lewan Anderson, like I said, some Jamie Foxx, and he was the funniest mom on Nick at Night. Share a little bit.
Yeah, they had a competition here in I'm not in Washington, I'm in Oregon now. But I was in Washington State, and I won first place in Washington State and got to fly down to LA to be on Nick at Night's Funniest Moms in America, the finalists. And so I didn't win. I came in second because I'm a big fish in my little pond, but I'm a minnow in the ocean.
Right. Right. And also you started some movies, Pony Man.
Well, yeah, the producers of Nick at Night, they were pretty upset that I didn't win. And they said, we find anything down here, we want you to, you got a lot of talent, Debbie. So I did audition at the Seattle Space Needle in Seattle for this movie called The Pony Man. They were looking for middle-aged black woman. And so I qualified for that, but here I am in a scooter and braces. So my late husband told me, he said, we should go down and audition. I said, they're not looking for all of this. They said, well, let's go anyway for the hell of it. So we went, and I was really intimidated because those other actresses, they all could do something I couldn't do, like walk, so I was pretty intimidated. But I did the cold reading, and I got a second call back, and I wind up, they had to write my disability through the whole movie, and I wound up getting the main female role in the movie called The Pony Man, and you can see it on prime time right now. It's fun.
Okay, Pony Man. He's also in another movie. Was it Christmas X? Xmas Freak?
The Christmas Freak.
Christmas, okay.
But people who know me, they know I'm sexy. Cause I have polio, but sometimes I could be a polio. So they'd be thinking, oh, Deborah made a movie about her being a polio. No, I didn't. This is a wholesome movie about a guy who just can't he stays in a loop of it's always Christmas, and he always dresses like an elf. So people call him a freak because he's weird. That's the premise of the movie. I'm not the star of this movie, but I do play a good role in the movie as a senior citizen. You know, now I'm auditioning for senior citizen roles because I'm at that age now.
Right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna show a little clip where you was performing at the Helium Club, and then we're gonna come back because there's a organization that you're starting now about that's motivation. And I want you to share a little bit about that. So if we can go to the clip where she performed at the Helium Club just a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about this other part of the gift that she's trying to share, that she's sharing with the world.
Right now for Debbie Wooten!
Give it up for my little boys right there. Give it up. I really didn't need all that help, but you know, feel it on my ass. I like that part right there. You know, when you're old, you gotta get it when you can get it, you know. Oh man, what a young audience. Oh, I tell you, look at the little white chocolates over there. How y'all doing? Woo, boy. Yeah, but you know, I think I'm a senior citizen of this audience. I do have some disabilities. I have polio. But I don't want you to look at that now. I want you to look at me like a full woman. You know that I am sexy, delicious, kind of a hoe. I'm a poly hoe. That's why I really am. I'm a poly hoe. Once you go poly hoe, you never go back. See, a regular hoe, her leg only go this far back, but a poly hoe, they drop all the way back. It's like, Barbie ain't got nothing on my ass. I tell you, yeah, right now. But you know, I'm looking around here and all these young women with good looking tits. But I'm not a lesbian, but I love lesbians. More men for me. I appreciate their ass being around. I go to gay pride parades and sign bitches up. You need to be a lesbian. That's what you need to be. Get you off the street. I don't need no competition. Yeah, I got all these nice tits. Got all these good looking tits. Yeah, that's what young women got. They got tits. See, I'm old. Now I got titties. It's the difference between young tits and old titties. Tits are, they create cleavage. They rub up, I love you. I love you too. When they become titties, don't you touch me. I'm going on where the shade is at, you know. But tits are strong. You can put your credit card in your tits, right, girls? You can put the phone in your tits. And your tits say, I got it. I'm strong. Boom. I put my phone in my titties and, ooh, let your panties catch that. That's way too heavy. You can't be hold that. One thing about titties, you can multitask with titties. You can't do that with tits. They too forward thinking. I be at home, busy washing dishes in the kitchen, and my man come in and said, baby, let me kiss them titties. I said, I'm busy. Here, go in the living room, sit down, and bring it back when you finish. I'm busy. Anybody thirsty out there? I'll sling it right out there to you. How y'all doing? I see you like skinny women, huh? All she got to offer you is one little tiny G-spot. That's it. You get a big girl like me, wherever you stick it in, it's a new spot. They all over, baby. It's all excitement. He only want to keep you skinny going. You lay next to him, you make his dick look bigger. That's why he like it. It's cute. I'm sorry. I'm looking for a man with confidence. That's all I gotta say about that. Well, but you know, I'm just flirting with you, you know, like I like them little young white chocolates over there. How y'all doing? Next time, bring your daddies. Or your grandpa. I like embarrassing white boys because they turn like red, purple, pink. They're like little fucking flowers. They're so cute. Oh, well, I'm sorry if I said dick, I offended y'all because y'all young audience. I'm old. I came from the dick-friendly generation. I came from the generation when dick was a good American name. That's right. We had dick all over And they came in every color. We had Black Dick, Gregory, Dick Clark, Dick Bucket, Dick Tracy. We even had a big old dick swimming in the ocean, Moby Dick. We even had a president, Tricky Dick. See, you guys only got bushes, but we had a dick, the first dick. That was our generation. Baby boomers. I'm a baby boomer. Well, I'm a baby boom, because I lost some of my boom boom, but that's all right. Yeah, I was introduced to dick when I was a little bitty girl right in school. See Dick come with Jane and Sally's Puffy Spot. I couldn't wait to go to school to see what Dick was going to do with Jane's Puff. I know he got quiet because y'all uncomfortable saying dick. Uncomfortable. They've taken the dick away from you young people. They replaced it with the penis. What's the sex talk like now, girlfriend? Oh, baby, give me some more of that hot, throbbing penis. You know what they say about a penis? An unprotected penis kills. I don't mess around with no penis. I give me some old-fashioned dick from the 70s. How you doing, baby? That's vintage dick. You only catch a cold from that dick. I like the hair standing off top of your head, too. I like that. That's from the women over the years going, good boy, keep your ass right on down there. I like men with defects. Have you ever thought about dating a blind man, ladies? You know, I know they have to read a little braille with their fingertips. Well, my old ass, I'm like a encyclopedia for them, you know what I'm saying? I want a slow reader dyslexic. Read it again! Slow reader.
Okay. I want to go back
Y'all
to Debbie.
discriminate against disabled people. Like, what the hell?
They got to go watch Debbie. She can get a little X-rated, but she also and her for everybody was just watching that. She has performed at religious establishments, colleges,
Yes.
urban nightclubs. So she got variety. She can keep it all the way clean if you want it all the way clean. But she, as you heard, she can get there.
Hey, Anthony, all my shows are clean. I always take a shower before my shows. They're all clean. But yeah, I talk the language as in Rome, talk as the Romans do. So wherever I'm at, I relate with the audience. So I've done Mormon shows. I've done Mormon firesides and Mormon single parent dances and, Church of God in Christ, adult night for married couples and singles. And I've done lots of those in schools. Oh, lots of schools, even elementary schools, because I do rap, because I'm also a rap star. Because I do rap music because I had 5 kids and they just love, back in the day, back in the late 90s, they was into Tupac and Biggie and all them. And so they would listen to Mama. So I turned into LL Cool Mama and bought a rap mic, and I wouldn't even talk to them no more. I would rap on my rap mic. It had a little beat to it. And I was saying, like, pick up your coat, pick up the shoes, take it to your room, boom, 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 word. And they'd be like, Mama, stop, you can't rap, you tripping. I said, I'm your rap star. Because I'll rap upside the head and you see stars. I'm your rap star. So I use humor again to problem solve. Like I said, it's just not just about jokes. It's about finding creative ways to problem solve. It's like I was talking about how at work, everybody was smoking cigarettes and I didn't smoke. And they would go out and smoke breaks, stay too long, too many people gone at once. So I said, what would they do if everybody went out here smoking? So I bought a case of candy cigarettes, passed them out to every desk of people who didn't smoke. And we had a candy cigarette suck break. And all the smokers got upset. What are you doing out here? You don't smoke. I said, we got a sweet tooth. Shut up. But we was just bringing awareness of the abuse of smoke breaks. All my idea.
Right.
I think it's a problem solve. And I encourage people to go back and look at some of those old problems. And maybe you can come from a blind side they wouldn't even expect you to come from and problem solve. In a humorous way where everybody is a smile at the end of it, because nothing is really worth holding on to. When you hold on to anger and being a victim, that's a great opportunity for cancer and depression, suicidal thoughts. And I really believe in fighting those, because I keep my name Wooten because my second husband ended his own life at 37 years old. And so I dedicate my shows to his memory. If I can make somebody laugh and step back off the edge, then I dedicate that to him.
All right, that's praise. That's I praise for that. Now you're doing the motivational circuit. Can you share a little bit about what that's all about and the word about can't and can?
Well, yeah, I'm a cheerleader, and so
Okay.
I go to establishments, conferences, workshops, retreats, and I talk about breaking that can't syndrome. Can't is the worst curse word ever. I mean, it's worse than all the other cuss words put together. Can't can kill you. That's why I became a widow, because he couldn't see a can. He only
Oh,
saw can'ts. Can'ts are the reason we have suicide. So I'm trying to take those can'ts out of people's mouths and put can there. And can't is the only word that could be generational. You could pass it down to your children. It's highly contagious and it's detrimental to our society. Like lift up every voice and sing the song. The song talks about that, but we can't. We are not able to do that if we keep saying we can't. Yes, we can. That song is singing about yes, we can.
my goodness, my goodness. I place on that. Well, Miss Wooten, we really appreciate you and the humor and the laughter you bring to us. And like I said, you people that heard it, she is versatile. So if you need her to come and bring some humor in the synagogues and the churches and the schools with the children, she just told you she rap. You gotta rap one more time. That you used to rap with your children.
Well, okay. Well, well, one was when they went outside with their skateboards and bikes, and nobody got a helmet on, trying to be cool. And so I came out there with my rap mic and my apron on, and I started rapping. Boys, come put your helmets on so you won't crack your dome. And your mama won't be on the phone till a pair of meds come on. You'll be laying in a hospital bed, too wounded from being dead. So put your helmet on before you crack your dome. What's worse than taking care of a kid? Take care of you, the invalid. Word out, peace your mama. Embarrassed the hell out of my boys. They ran in the house and got them. You stop rapping. We'll get the helmet. Stop. You're embarrassing.
On that note, because I can appreciate that humor. And it's just been a blessing that you came on and shared with our viewers. And if you got new events coming up, new movies, new shows, let us know so we can announce it to the people so they can come out and go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm slowing down a little bit because now I have 17 grandkids, and so all the stuff I used to is all back to the beginning. I'm full circle. So now I'm back rapping about helmets again, peace and quiet again. I'm back in that world again. I used to have a station wagon and a big van, and now I own a little cute little Kia car, and I look in the back seat and there's a car seat and a box of Pampers. I said, I'm back in the beginning again. So, full circle.
We appreciate you. Anytime you want to come on and just share some humor and your gift with us, Straight Talk was welcome. We're going to close out now, but we're going to thank Professor OLday again from Temple University and Mrs. Debbie Wooten for sharing, bring some laughter into our lives. And it's just a blessing. And remember, Straight Talk is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from you, the people, to the people. And it's been a blessing to be in your home. We'll be on next month, and you can go to sttv.biz and you can watch the show again, and also can get some information on our guests, and tag Professor OLday at AOK Business LLC. Get your business questions answered. And she has a big heart, as you can see. She has a big heart, and she wants to share the information with you and get you right. And we need to be right. As she said, we need to know the games to engage. So we need to know that. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in with us. We got it live then. We're going to continue to do it live for you. And hit us with the DM. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you got any topics, subjects that you want to see us cover. And we're there for you. Okay, so Steve, go ahead and roll the closing sound. We're going to close out for now. But remember, again, Straight Talk is the show that truly cares about you, where the information comes from you, the people, to the people. Be blessed. Tell somebody you love them. And if you started those 2024 what's called New Year's resolution, give up. Keep on pushing. As Brother Curtis would say, keep on pushing. Okay? God bless all of you. Shalom. Thank you, Professor OLday. Debbie Wooten, appreciate you. Okay, take care.
Thank you.